everyone, and welcome back to another session. Today we have Menon with us, who is the Director of Sales and a Brand Strategist at SellerApp. Many of you have been coming to us asking questions about post-COVID selling on Amazon and how direct-to-consumer brands can, switch to Amazon and start improving their sales. So we have Menon with us, who will be covering three topics, which is how you can build a successful direct-to-consumer brand, growing your e-commerce sales both domestic and global, and we will give you some tips and tricks to get started on your Amazon selling journey. Hi, Ram.
Thank you, Ria, for the quick introduction. As you mentioned, since post-COVID, there's a lot of changes which has happened, and we are excited to kind of at least let you know which ways and techniques which will benefit you in the long run.
Yep. So let's get started on with the session. To begin with, as we already discussed how direct-to-consumer brands are disrupting Amazon online retail because of their customer experience. And many of the sellers, when they start selling, they forget that, you're providing a service, but the customer experience is equally valuable if you want to sustain in that business. So why do you think Amazon is doing a better job, or why do you think Amazon is a better option for direct-to-consumer people to switch to Amazon?
As you've probably already noticed, during the COVID time, probably Amazon and probably other e-commerce places was the only one who was providing the services for customers. So as the COVID during season, during the month of Feb or March, a lot of brands kind of realized a lot of customers are not coming to the retail store. They're more engaged to actually buying products through Amazon itself. So that's one of the things where a lot of brands kind of realize that, hey, this is an opportunity for us to kind of utilize Amazon itself and utilize other e-commerce marketplaces. Right? So, specifically with Amazon, they portray a large variety of brands. So one of the biggest focus of the brands was to make sure that instead of giving a 5% effort into Amazon, they had to give probably 25%, 35% effort. They have to probably invest more in terms of creating the visibility for Amazon customers so that ultimately their overall momentum will not drop, right? During the whole COVID time, you could realize that a lot of brands, the retail stores, no one was going, less people was there. But with Amazon, they kind of were able to kind of extend the brand opportunity. Customers were able to kind of utilize their space. They were able to purchase goods from them. And that really allowed brands to kind of focus. We just recently had one of the brands kind of recently on board as a client for us. And that's one of the first things they really mentioned, right? They said that during the last 3 years or 4 years, probably Amazon was 10% of their income. But now they've realized that, as COVID has happened, 2, 3 months, 4 months down the lane, that Amazon has to be one of the bigger partners. They have to invest time, they have to kind of dedicate into making sure the products are there, making sure that they reach out to the customers at the right opportunity.
And when you have a store, when you have a retail store, you can make sure that the customer experience is adequate. It's happening when the customer enters the store, you make sure that you greet them. But how do you make sure that the same customer experience is delivered when you're selling on Amazon online?
So that is one of the things what we call as more of a brand visibility, right? So the whole opportunity of brand visibility is that you can try and recreate the same thing, what you see as in a retail store, where you have your storefront. So there's something in Amazon called the storefront, right? Where a customer clicks on, let's say, maybe example, L'Oreal. They click on L'Oreal and they probably find the entire storefront page, like a brand page, like a website inside Amazon itself, right? Again, it gives the customer that experience saying, okay, I'm able to find multiple different products of the specific brand, or I'm able to kind of find multiple different opportunities to buy their product, right? So most of the bigger brands, what they do is they have all the products listed, right? So when you see all the products, probably close to 5,000 to 10,000 products. Now, when you click on the specific product, you go to the storefront. When you click on the storefront, it comes as an entire web page. When you go further down, they create content-specific pages just for their brand, so that ultimately, customer comes, looks at the page, and they say, "Oh, this is a brand which I bought from the retail store. I'm able to kind of buy from here," and without any hesitation, they end up buying. So it's a lot of effort which you have to put. You have to create the brand visibility. And that's the focus nowadays, right? Where a lot of customers are making sure that they present that whole brand opportunity, because this is one way where you kind of allow a customer to understand that this is a good growth, right? I mean, you have a certain percentage of sales which you get organically. But once a brand page comes in between, it gives that increase, it gives that 10%, it gives that 15% increase, it gives that 20% increase. And that's what the customer is looking for. They want to differentiate from other people. I mean, you have resellers probably selling the same product. But now if a brand is selling the product, you would rather buy from the brand itself. So that's the ultimate goal for all the brands, to kind of make sure that they have their present, and end of the day kind of give that same flexibility or same vibe when they're actually going on to Amazon pages.
That is so true. And one of the things that I would like to add, I call it a seller tip. So make sure that your packaging is attractive. Your duty does not only end when you send a package across. The experience also happens when you receive the package. Your consumer receives the package and opens it. Your package makes a lot of difference. So recently I ordered a mug of Amazon, and it came in this beautiful black box with extra stuff inside, and I was really happy. Did I like the mug as much? No. Did I like the packaging? Yeah. So definitely that improves your I say customer experience overall, consumer experience overall.
I mean, that is a really good point. I mean, customer experience is probably one of the bigger things, right? Recently we had a client and they sell chocolates. Now the whole purpose of that is to make sure that presentation is good. You put maybe a thank you card, you put a personalized card, right? So a lot of customers now are focused on that. I mean, end of the day, it's just not about just making sure that one product which you bought is directly getting to customer, but it's multiple facets, right? Where are you able to portray, as you said, as in a good package? Are you able to maybe put a thank you card? Are you able to send the goods if it's not broken or something, right? So there's multiple facets which include, and the brands especially need to do that, right? Because they have to maintain that uniformity across every different platform, right? Whether it's retail store, whether it's e-commerce, or from their own website, right? They have to make sure that as a brand they are portraying it kind of unified across all different stages, and that's where the customer will ultimately keep purchasing from you and have those repeat purchases.
That is so true. And I think Amazon also came up with their sustainable packaging as well, which I think is a great initiative when we're moving towards an eco-friendly world. And another thing I wanted to ask you was the cost effectiveness of advertising when compared to direct to consumer and Amazon retail. So which one is better, which one is more effective, and how we can improve it?
So in Amazon, I would say it is more of a targeted audience, right? I mean, through advertising, Amazon advertising is not the easiest thing. Let's say that. I mean, there are a lot of metrics you need to follow, a lot of understanding you need to do. A lot of you get to know what customers really type at Amazon, right? You get to know what the buyer patterns are. You get to know what they're searching in Amazon, and this really helps all our customers to kind of understand, saying that okay, if a customer is searching for, let's say, chocolates, what kind of chocolates I need to put? Is customers looking for, let's say, chocolate with nuts, or maybe chocolate with cashews, or whatever those kind of varieties are there, right? So advertising really, end of the day, kind of helps you get to that target audience, which you're not able to figure out, right? In a retail store, probably customers come, they look at the product and they get out. Or probably, let's say, an outdoor advertising, customers are able to just see a billboard and they walk across. Now on Amazon, when you start advertising from day one, you get to know what customers type. You get to know what customers search. You have these various search terms, obviously, depending on how broad the category of the product is, you have to pay an X amount of cost. But end of the day, you really understand the pulse of the customer. You really understand what they trying to type, what they're really searching, right? And based on that, you can maneuver your product as well, right? I mean, maybe if you're just selling chocolates right now, and you find that a lot of customers is typing chocolate with the nuts, maybe your next product can be chocolate with the nuts, right? Because you have the scope and scalability, and that's where again brands kind of utilize a space where they're able to find out what customers really type. They're really able to find out what customers are looking for, and based on that, kind of utilize a space and introduce more products, or kind of utilize the space and get more ideas or creative ideas to introduce more products onto that.
Yeah, and if you're wondering how to measure your PPC campaign effectability, SellerApp has a free ACOS that's called ACOS calculator. So please check that out and we can help you out with it. And now that we know that, because of COVID, everyone's shifting to online selling platforms, what do you think is the next trend? Because e-commerce is currently booming, and we have noticed a lot of retail people shifting to online selling. And once they realize how more cheaper and convenient it is to sell on Amazon, there are going to be new trends. So could you just brief us about that?
So in terms of the trends in the last few months, we have definitely seen the trend in terms of the overall sales for a lot of customers. So now, as a customer, you have a lot more opportunity to buy. You're sitting at home, you have a lot more time to kind of browse through different products. So especially in the last 4 months, the trends we've seen, obviously one is the PPE products, right? Those are the trends we've seen. The second be the office products. The third would be anything in terms of home improvement. Let's say fitness, making sure that maybe your carpets, any of those kind of home improvement tools. Those are the products, those are the categories we have seen a tremendous improvement. And this is probably going to stay for the next year or two, right? Unless there is a change. I would still say customers are getting into the comfort spot to actually purchasing everything online, right? Even maybe for the bigger tools, they're able to kind of purchase online everything. So this trend, at least personally, we do believe that this trend is going to last. It's going to be beyond maybe a year, maybe 2 years, and even brands do realize, even customers realize, right? I don't need to go to the store. I can buy everything online. Why do I need to do that? Unless I have to probably see something or feel, probably that's another reason. But I'm still willing to try it out. Right? I'm still trying to probably buy one item of that specific product and see how that works. If it works out perfectly, I'll buy a couple more other things. Right? So this trend is going to increase and this trend is going to remain. Right? And I think it's a good opportunity for customers to utilize, or sellers to realize that. Right? You have a perfect opportunity to make more sales. A perfect opportunity to kind of introduce your brand in the market. Because as a customer myself, I sit at home and browse through Amazon. Right? So I'm browsing through multiple products. So as a brand or any guy who's trying to get himself into Amazon, this is like a perfect step to kind of, as with any product, kind of make sure that you're spending the right amount, and it also entails in multiple things, right? Advertising, making sure the price of the products is right, and also good category of products. Making sure you're selling in the right category, that's probably one of the most important.
Yeah, and the future of Amazon, do you think, with items with high return rates such as clothing or makeup, do you think Amazon is going to come up with a virtual trying on option for clothing and apparels?
That is something, so in terms of, I think it's more of a customization, right? So as a brand, you can provide that opportunity. And with Amazon, anything can happen, right? We have seen a lot of changes, and Amazon will keep introducing multiple things. So I wouldn't be surprised when they do something with AI, kind of, let's say, augmented reality, kind of saying, hey, how does this look? Or maybe using Alexa, maybe using something like that. Right? So this is a high possibility. I wouldn't be surprised. And with everything moving towards e-commerce, you would probably see that, right? Maybe not an augmented part of it right now. Maybe just putting your face in a clothing to just see how it looks.
Yeah.
That is something it is possible. And I'm pretty sure Amazon will, it is probably already in their books to figure out how it will be done. Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, they can take up so many ideas from, if you say there's a website only made for purchasing furniture, there's a feature where you can put the furniture in the room virtually and see how it looks. So that's something Amazon can adopt. And there's so many features, let's say, virtually trying on clothes. And if Amazon partners up with Alexa, I don't think we'll have to even pick up our phone to order something on Amazon. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It's as customers stay at home, they have to think of more creative ways to reach out to the customer. Right? It might be through Amazon, it might be through the website, but even brands have to figure out. I'm pretty sure Amazon is a step above them to kind of figure things out. They will be. You'll probably find it sometime very soon. For sure.
I'm so glad, because a lazy person like me, believe me, forget about going to the stores. I am so lazy to even type buy clothes online. Just tell Alexa and it's done. And now we're talking about consumer behavior. What do you think were the changes that consumer behavior went through after the pandemic hit us? And do you think that these consumer behaviors are going to stick in the future after the pandemic is hopefully over?
So we actually did I wouldn't say an audit, but we looked at a quick data in terms of how it was the same period last year to how was it this year, right? I mean, compared to Feb of last year to Feb of 2020, from April of 2019 to April 2020. And we have seen a tremendous improvement, right, with the customers where it's they have a lot more opportunity to buy. They search for a lot more things. They probably search more random things as well, just to see, is this product good? Is this item good or not? And I think this behavior is going to stay. I mean, as a customer, if I'm trying to buy one product on Amazon, I probably end up looking at multiple other things. It is just not that one product, right? I mean, you have that opportunity to see multiple other things, and you might just click on another product and see, what is it? Again, that's the whole purpose of going to the Amazon website, right? It's just not one product, but you have different. You can see electronics, you can see clothing, you can see home improvement, office, anything, right? I mean, that's all customers like to see, right? I mean, you can even target your product for something totally random. It's absolutely fine. I mean, as long as you think this is the right market. I mean, that's where as a seller or as a brand person, you're trying to focus on which market and what's your target audience ultimately, right? I mean, you have the opportunity to kind of make sure that you're reaching out to multiple customers, different ways, different opportunities, and ultimately making them buy your product. And that's where the opportunity lies. And I think this is going to trend. This is going to remain there. I don't personally see for the next 2 years this is going to change. I mean, and it's probably going to remain there for the next few years more.
Yeah, and I think when consumers started realizing that there are cheaper products out there, consumer loyalty gets hit. So if you are selling in a retail store, you know that you have specific amount of consumers or customers coming to you every day or weekly basis. But once they go on Amazon, they might realize that there are cheaper products than, the one that you're selling. So how do you avoid that? This question is specifically for sellers.
So for sellers, I would say there's a couple of things, right? I mean, then again, you have to really focus who your target audience is, right? I mean, with your target audience, it doesn't matter what it is, they always have a preference towards you. So you have to get those right keywords. You have to figure out how to reach out to the audience, maybe through your product page. You have to maybe optimize your product page. Maybe through your storefront, you have to make sure that it's same as how you probably on your website. Maybe through your advertising to make sure that, are you positioned on the first page? Because as a customer, you're probably on the first or the second page of Amazon, right? I mean, if it's anything beyond that, no customers are going to be doing it. Unless you're searching for a specific brand and you might go up to 5 or 6 or 10 pages to find that product. Other than that, it's just the whole game goes around, is your product optimized? Is your listing optimized? Do you have the right keywords to reach out to the audience? Are you advertising in the right way? Have you met your target audience? Are you spending the right amount of money? As a brand, for a specific brand, you have to spend a specific amount. So as a seller, there's a lot more focus right now. There's a lot more investment has happened, and a lot more understanding of how the customers really want. Probably a couple of months ago, you could just do any advertising and probably get it across. But now, since a lot more competition is there, a lot more opportunity, as you said, right? You have an opportunity to buy different products. Let's say you have an opportunity to see other products in the market. So as that increases, you have to be more specified. You have to be more, active enough to kind of take their audience or take a percentage of the market share. So you have to be aggressive in a certain way.
Yeah, that is so true. And I wanted to talk about omnichannel selling. And why do you think omnichannel selling is a trend right now, and why do you think people adopted to it?
Since the whole COVID situation, that's one of the things which has been rising in the last few months. Especially since a lot of customers have been secluded to their website, using this omnichannel kind of opportunity allows them to reach out to a wide audience. And as a seller, the ultimate opportunity is that, are you just focused on a specific target audience, or are you kind of reaching to a global audience? With Amazon specifically, it reaches out to a much more global audience where you are expanding your opportunity to showcase your products. Right? Even as a small seller, just putting a product on Amazon, it allows you to that opportunity to be viewed probably hundreds of times a day. So using those channels, using Amazon, let's say Walmart, or let's say other e-commerce platform, it allows you that opportunity. And I think it is the way going forward. I mean, it gives you that opportunity as a small seller, probably sitting in somewhere in the US or somewhere in Europe, right? You get that opportunity to showcase your products in, let's say, Amazon Europe, or probably Amazon UK, or probably Amazon US, Canada, and Mexico. So it gives you an opportunity and also gives you a feel, because at the end of the day, with the retail store not really working out, a lot of customers are still hesitant to go. The whole e-commerce platform just gives that opportunity for every customer.
Yeah, and people love choices. So once they go online, they realize that there are so many choices to choose from. And once you have more choices, people are usually more happier and they purchase more, I feel. Do you agree to that statement?
Yes, I would say that. I mean, you have a lot more opportunity to buy. So you keep clicking on something and you're like, oh, why don't I just buy this product right now? So yes, it gives you that opportunity. I mean, it gives you that variety to choose, right? I mean, it's like a platter of food where you have different options. And even if there is something which you might not like, you're like, okay, let me just try it out. I mean, is this there? And it might be the same price. It might be, let's say, $10 or $15 or $20. I'm willing to give that shot for it, right? And maybe it's a brand. I can see maybe the A+ content, and I'm like, oh, this is a brand. So I'll then maybe quickly copy that brand and go to Google and check if this brand actually exists, and then I end up buying the product, right? So I do a lot of impulse purchases like that. So and again, it's all about how you portray it. I mean, as I said before, it all depends on what is your target market audience and how you do your advertising, right? It can all relate to that, because when you search for something, the first thing which pops up gets your attention. So, as a brand, are you able to kind of get that attention of an audience? Are you able to quickly leverage them from seeing the product and clicking on your product, right? So it gives an opportunity, and as I said, I mean, I end up purchasing a lot of things on Amazon, and we all are spoiled with choices. I would agree with that.
I completely agree to it. And another tip for sellers, if you want to increase your product visibility on Amazon, make sure that your product picture is very clear. And because I've seen a lot of sellers make this mistake where they click their product picture and it's not even clear. So when people go to look at your product, they don't really know what's happening. So they would most probably skip it unless you're like providing unexceptional prices, which usually doesn't happen. Yeah. So thank you so much, Ram, for this wonderful session. And do you have any more tips in this session for our sellers?
I would say utilize this opportunity. I mean, capitalize on the new trends, right? COVID has obviously, introduced this online presence more for customers. As a brand, as a seller, utilize the opportunity, and this is going to be there for the next few months. This is going to be there for a year, 2 years, right? I mean, this behavior is increased. Customers are purchasing more. So this adoption of this whole omnichannel selling would be the way forward to create a sustainable kind of a presence on the online market itself.
And do not forget that strong consumer experience is very important, and make sure that your advertising is cost effective. Use our SellerApp's free tool, which I will link them down below, to make sure that your advertising is on point. And we also have a Q4 series coming up. Do not forget to check that out, because now that the Q4 quarter is coming, it can be a great opportunity for all the sellers out there to make sure that you're earning a lot of money. Thank you so much, Ram, for this wonderful session, and we will see you later. Subscribe to our channel down below for more quality content, for more seller tips, and for a better selling experience.